Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a story time about my really bad date that I kind of touched on my Q&A. So let's start from the beginning. This happened more than a year ago. It was maybe, I want to say like April of last year. So at this point, I wasn't very big on Instagram. I had just really started growing my account. I was maybe at like 10K or so. And I can't fully remember how I met him, but I think it was through Instagram. We had DM'd a little bit here and there. I thought he was cute. He was in the Atlanta area, so I knew that he lived close to me. At this point, I had never met anyone off of Instagram. I didn't really know what to expect, and it was also my first time dating again in a very long time, maybe like 2 years that I had not gone on a date. I had not talked to anybody new. We DM'd a little while and he wanted to take me out to dinner. I accepted. Finally, like, I get to breathe a little bit and go out to eat and meet, this new guy, yada, 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 yada. He lived more towards Atlanta and I live about an hour north of Atlanta. We were gonna meet right in the middle. So a place that was about 30 minutes away from the both of us. It was like a weekday. We were gonna have like an early dinner. We were gonna meet like at 5:30. At this point in time, I actually still worked at my office job. So I left early one day from work to go to this dinner. Oh, so one thing I noticed about him while we're talking is that he's very active on social media. He posted a lot. He posted maybe 3 or 4 times a day. He loved the gram, okay? The day comes, I have on like a pencil skirt and a cute little top. That was like my signature look, okay? I used to kill it with that look when I used to work in the office, like kill it. I arrive, I'm punctual, I am there on time. I think I'm even like a few minutes early. I wait maybe like 15 minutes after he's supposed to be there. I text him and I'm like, what's going on? Where are you at? And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, GPS is telling me 15 more minutes. Like, I hit a bunch of traffic. And I'm like, oh, okay, like, don't even worry about it. Like, you're fine. And maybe about 30 minutes go by and I text him again and I'm like, hey, like, are you close yet? He's like, I'm so sorry, like, there's so much traffic, I'm gonna be there in like 25 minutes. Like, you said you were 15 minutes away 30 minutes ago and it's now you're gonna be here in 25 minutes. So like, at this point, I should have left. I should have just been like, okay, bye. I overlooked it. This time he calls me. I'm on my way, like, I'll be there soon. I'll be there in like 25 minutes. And I'm like, oh my God. He does. He gets there. We meet at the door. One of the first things he says to me is that I look like my Instagram pictures. And I'm like, yeah, like, I would hope so. It is me. It is I. So we get inside. The waitress comes over to take our drinks. He orders a double shot of Hennessy on the rocks. I remember turning to him and I was like, that's a little aggressive, huh? He was like, well, I work every day. I work all the time. Am I not allowed to have a drink? You're allowed. So we sit down, we're eating. It's a steakhouse, so that's what I order. The waitress comes around, and so he's like very flirty with the waitress, and she is very flirty right back. I'm literally sitting there like sipping on my water, like, yeah. I don't really know what to do. They're just talking to each other for the longest, and I'm just here kind of like, let me read through this menu for the 50th time. Finally, we actually start our meal. When he's done flirting with this waitress, the whole entire time, he is talking about himself. I can hold a conversation with anybody. It is one of my God-given gifts. I was keeping this conversation alive with everything I had in me. I finished my meal pretty quickly because I wasn't talking. Towards the middle of dinner, he gets a call. He tells me, oh, I have to get this. You never know who it could be. So he picks up and he's like talking to whoever. He hangs up right away. He puts his phone down. I just started noticing him get a little fidgety. He ends up picking up his phone. I see him like scrolling. What is he doing? It's so rude to be on your phone at dinner, let alone on a first date. I look and he is legit on his Facebook, scrolling through, liking posts, sharing stuff. I'm like sitting there like, listen, if you're bored and you have had all this time to talk about yourself, imagine how bored I am. I'm not gonna pick up my phone. I'm not doing that. I think it's one of the rudest things that you can do. As he's on his phone, he starts telling me, yeah, I'm really just looking for a girl, I want to go on vacation, and I want a girl to come with me and just enjoy life. Like, I've been working so much. I just want somebody, to just share this with. And I'm sitting there like at this point, I know what he's looking for is not me. Why do I want to go on a nice vacation with you if I'm not gonna enjoy your company? Like, I wanted to meet someone who you like so much that you want to go on vacation with. And for him, it was like he's going on vacation. He wants somebody to bring along. That was like our disconnect, I think. He's just there and he's telling me about like all of his business ventures, and he's showing me like Zillow pictures of all the properties he owns, and I'm just there like, oh. Then he orders another double shot of Hennessy again. And I'm like, God, like, finish your dinner. Like, at this point, I was ready to go, guys. Like, I was ready to go. This is where things took a turn for the worst. At this point, the date had been bad, but it was bearable. There wasn't anything that really made this date like horrible. I'm like, we're almost done. Like, I just need to get up out of here. Like, we gotta go. Obviously, I felt like we didn't have a connection. He was not feeling me, and I most definitely was not feeling him. Right at the end, I remember telling him, you ready to go? And he was like, oh, I'm finishing this drink. He gets a call, right? And he answers the phone. And when he answers, I see him hit the FaceTime button. He was playing it off like when the FaceTime connected. He was like, oh, I didn't know this was a FaceTime. Like, he was saying he thought it was a phone call. It was his friend. And he is super loud. He's like yelling in the restaurant. I am mortified. I am so embarrassed. Like, y'all know how loud FaceTimes are? They're so loud. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I just wanted to hide. So he's like telling his friend, he's like, yeah, you know how we do. I'm over here with this beautiful woman. She's 24 years old. Look at her. She's gorgeous. She's beautiful. And he like turns the FaceTime to me. He's like, say hi. And I'm like, hi. At this point, like, him and his friend are keying it up. We had already gotten the check. That FaceTime was like at like the tail end of our date. I get up and I start walking out, and he of course gets up and follows me, and he's still FaceTiming. He hangs up before we get outside, and then once we get outside, he's like this other different person, being so sweet, telling me, let me take you out again whenever you want. My schedule will revolve around you, whatever you want. And I'm just like, what? Like, we just sat in there for like 2 hours with you basically ignoring me, flirting with the waitress, and now you want to go out again? I thought that was so bizarre. I remember saying, I'm like, oh, how sweet of you, but like, I gotta go. We both went on our separate ways, and I thought that was the end of it. Afterwards, he's still blowing my phone up. Even before we had gone out, I didn't reply to him as much as he would hit me up, just because I had a full-time job. I was busy. I didn't have time to really be on the phone all day. So it's not like I completely ghosted him. I don't like to ghost people. I think that's so mean. He would text me a few times and I would write him back once. Maybe he'll get the hint. I didn't want to get into a conversation of why, because I didn't want to hurt his feelings. Like, I really didn't. I just wanted it to be done. We move on. Next. That's what dates are for, to see if you like this person or you don't. He started calling me. I'm not a big fan of talking on the phone, so I would never answer. Even before we had gone out on a date, I think we spoke on the phone maybe twice. One day he just sent me a full nude. And I was like, what? is this? Y'all know how much I hate nudes. Unsolicited nudes are the worst. Would you just go up to somebody in public and just flash them? No, you would not. And I remember texting him back and I was like, what is this? Why would you send me this? And he was like, oh, I'm trying to get your attention. And I was like, well, don't. That right away just turned me completely off from him. Then I was annoyed. Maybe another day or so went by and he starts texting me and calling me, and he ends up DMing me on Instagram and said, you're so full of yourself. I don't need any fake people in my life. I'm gonna block you. Okay, I've been very nice, but I can be not so nice. I'm so full of myself, and I texted him back, you're conceited. You're so full of yourself. You're not all that. Who do you think that you are? You have this huge ego about yourself. Block me. I don't care. Matter of fact, let me block you. Let me save you the effort. So I block his number on my phone. I block him on Instagram. He starts calling me on private. And he called me like 12 times. I figured it was to cuss me out because I really went off on him. I'm really giving y'all the sugar-coated sweetheart version of it because I really went off on him. He ends up sending me an apology through his business page on Instagram. He tells me that he really wanted to talk to me and that when I wasn't giving in, that he just had a tantrum, that his tantrum was stemming from him wanting to talk to me. He really liked me. And I was like, no, go away, please go away. After that, he DM'd me a few times. Every time he DM'd me, he would be like, let's go on vacation together. Let's go on a cruise. Let me buy you some shoes. Let me do something nice for you. No, I don't want to go on a cruise. No, I don't want to go on vacation. After that, I was just kind of like, I'm not meeting anybody else on Instagram. I've actually met total 2 people off of Instagram. That was my really bad date. My other situation was nothing like that. Was not a bad date at all. So I guess it's just kind of like sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You know what I'm saying? But pro tip, if you ask a girl that you're interested on a date, actually act interested on the date. And that's the story about the worst date I've ever been on. Thanks again for watching this video. Comment below and make sure you subscribe. Mwah.